Hi, it's Alice, and I'm back with the market update for the Victoria Real Estate Board for April 2025. Kind of May. I'm a bit behind, but here we are. Anyways, let's get into sales and then we'll discuss what's going on in the Victoria market. And I do thank you for your patience for me not doing a video last month. I'm facing a lot of loss in my life, and I don't know, sometimes I guess death knocks at your door. And so yeah, I've been dealing with some things in my personal life that make me want to just sit in my garden and sit in the sun, which is why I'm out here. So hopefully you're getting a lot of sunshine too. Anyways, so the sales for April were 642 sales, which was down 5.3%. I'll discuss that more later, but technically they're down. I feel like it's really ramping up though. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. For active listings, we had 3,425 active listings on the market at the end of April, and that was up 13.5%. So we're almost at the zone where I say it's normal inventory. This is basically normal. So there's lots of choice, and it's nothing extreme. Like if we got to 5,000, that would be pretty cool. I don't know, be something new. But 3,500, we're going pretty steady. And for home sales, they were down 0.6%. So nothing major there, but things are a bit slower because of the tariffs. I think a lot of people are taking a little step back, just seeing what's happening. So that's probably what that is. The benchmark home price was 1.344 million, which was up 3.3%. So again, the sales are slow, but the prices are kind of going up a little bit. But you know, it's to me, I find the prices very stagnant right now. So it is what it is. The average price is 1.395 million, and that was up 8.1% versus last year at the same time. So I'm not sure why the average shows such a jump, but it does. As we move on to condos, we saw a reduction in sales of basically 10%. So, yeah, condo sales are down. I'm not sure if that, like, I'm trying to reason why because they don't really give us why in the stats, but I wonder if it's because a lot of condos are more where the entry level buyers are, and perhaps they're getting shaken out by tariffs or their job losses. I'm not sure. But, anyways, the sales are down in condos, and the benchmark condo price is 5.66K. So that's up 0.9%. And again, so you see a little bit of a rise in price, but the sales are slow. So I don't know. The average is $604,000 roughly, and it was down 0.2%. So yeah, people keep asking me what's happening with the sales prices. I find them very stagnant. I don't find anything in that extreme, and the sales apparently they're slow, but I feel like it's building up. With my experience just day to day, I'm finding it's actually quite busy. I'm having a lot of people who were sitting things out that are coming and looking at properties, inquiring, wanting to list. So I know that there's a lot of scary YouTube videos saying that things are in free fall like Toronto. But I'm on Vancouver Island in Victoria, and I'm not finding it here. I'm just not. Not personally. Maybe other agents are in their day to day, but I'm finding it quite busy, and I'm finding people actually quite ready to spend lots of money and to jump into properties. And right across the board, it seems like the sentiment that I'm feeling. So yeah, take that for what you will. I do feel like a lot of those people are making lateral moves, although if I have clients who are coming into the market, almost all of them are coming in with family money. So no judgment there. That's super duper common. So for interest rates, we're looking at another announcement on June 4th. Looking at my notes. This is bringing me back to my filmmaking days. Did you know I went to film school? Yes. Light bounce. Yeah, so Bank of Canada is going to announce the rate on June 4th. And I'm hearing a mixed thing where they're saying it might be reduced, or because of the tariffs, they might try to combat inflation by not raising their rates, perhaps holding them steady. I can't see them raising them at this time. But yeah, like they don't want prices to surge because of a lower rate. We'll see what happens. Again, I'm not one to predict that kind of thing. That's more for a mortgage broker. But that's what we're seeing. The GDP was down. I noticed in StatsCan they were saying that, and I don't know what this means, so I'm going to quote it, that real estate agent activity was down 10.4%. I don't know what that means exactly, but apparently realtors are struggling. across Canada is what I would take that as. This realtor's chilling, so I don't know. Godspeed to all those who are suffering. But remember, it's our industry, it's baked in the cake that if we do have bad times, we're supposed to save for that because we are on commission. But anyways, so yeah, you're probably seeing a lot of scary YouTube videos right now where it's talking about Toronto being in a free fall market, people negotiating prices and then closing a month later and finding that the property's worth less than they bought it for. Up to 30% failure on new build condos where they purchased 5 years ago on a sales contract, and then 30% of them are not closing because they cannot requalify or they don't want to. So lots of ugly stuff going on in the market. Vancouver sounds like it's kind of iffy there as well. But here I am on Vancouver Island, and I tell you, I don't know, the sun is shining here. I don't know what to say. I went looking for bad news for you. I did. I tried. Right now, I think what we're seeing is pockets of real estate that are doing well. I've heard even in the East Coast, some of it is doing pretty well as well. But again, areas in BC that are not doing well, and then areas like Vancouver Island where I'm finding it pretty good. And I even went into a multiple offer situation just a few days ago, and I was looking at another one the other day. So the fact that there is that again shows that it's getting a little bit busier. And again, people inquiring to start listing their properties and just general interest. It's easy to get a deal through. The approvals are going easy. I'm finding it a very good market right now, and I'm not seeing the struggle that I'm seeing on the internet. So in my personal opinion, Vancouver Island is doing pretty darn good. What else is going on? Yeah, even Canadian home sales apparently were in March the lowest since they've been since 2009, which is kind of like the recession. So I'm starting to sound like one of those old realtors. When I started real estate, I was crash watching when I started real estate in 2017. Yeah, it's been a while. And the old realtors in the office, they used to be like, "Oh, you know what, Vancouver Island, it's its own bubble. It's its own thing. It's because of retirees and the boomers and blah blah blah." And I'm starting to sound like that, and you can kind of see it. And you know, it's funny because I look at my website statistics, and the most popular blog post that gets traffic is reasons to retire on Vancouver Island, and like all these other blog posts about retiring to Vancouver Island. So, short story there is that there's a lot of people who want to retire here. There's a lot of money on Vancouver Island. So that's kind of what I'm seeing is lots of lateral moves, lots of big cash down payments. Yeah. So some people are just not hurting despite the tariffs, and a lot of people who are retired, they're not as concerned. They're not losing their jobs, you know. So the one thing I think we do have in common though with Toronto and other areas, perhaps in Vancouver, that are struggling is, you know, micro condos that used to sell hand over fist for really crazy amounts of money. They're the ones that are struggling. You know, a standard house, they're doing fine. They're selling fine as long as they're not priced like it's 2022. So yeah, there's little niches that are slow. That's probably why condos are slow. Is probably the small little ones like sub 600 square feet. But yeah. But that's all I have for you today. I'm not going to fearmonger. I don't really care about worrying about the politics. I think it's all going to shake out, and I'm finding plenty of buyers and sellers out here are happy. So that's my 2 cents. I'll try and fearmonger more next time. I just don't have the energy right now, and I have to go into, I'm finding that hive, and then the one next door, there's another one there. And so that's what I'm going to be doing with my afternoon. Yeah. So I'm going to be elbows deep in bees, and that's my happy place. And as I said, you know, it's like dealing with so much grief over the past month. Not just with Zoe, but other things. I just don't want to talk about it. But yeah, it makes me want to spend more time outside and worry less about what Donald Trump is saying and what prime minister we have and all that. I don't know. Summertime in my mind. And yeah, I hope you're finding lots of peace and enjoyment throughout your life as well. I hope that you're not getting too rattled by all the news and all that noise. So yeah, I hope you're chill o'clock as well. Anyways, so that's me. I'm going there, and I hope you have a great month, and bug me if you want to see anything or you want to sell anything. You know where I am. Anyways, bye.